Mr. Ashodi's Snapchat Science. Now today what we're going to be looking at is biofuels containing ethanol. Now by the end of this video, hopefully we're able to one, describe the effects of global warming. We then want to go on to describe how bioethanol is produced. And then after that we want to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of using bioethanol. So let's get right into it. Now, so far we've been looking at using fuels and the effects of global warming. Now why is climate change such a big issue? Because we have certain effects such as melting ice caps, floods, fires, droughts and loss of biodiversity. So we need to come up with a way of reducing climate change and reducing our greenhouse gas emissions. Now one clever way that scientists have done this is by using biofuels instead of fossil fuels. Now, biofuels are made using microorganisms, and these microorganisms use fermentation from plant material, and it's waste plant material, to create a fuel, and this fuel is used, and it's said to be more economically friendly, or not economically friendly, environmentally friendly to the environment than, for example, burning a fossil fuel. So let's look at how these biofuels work and what exactly are biofuels. So here's an example of a biofuel, and it's known as bioethanol. Now, in tropical countries, we have sugarcane, sugar beet, maize, wheat, and grain, and they're growing really fast. Now, these products all contain starch. Now, starch is converted into glucose by adding it with a carbohydrate. Don't forget, we've done that in B2, And carbohydrates is an enzyme. So once we convert the starch into glucose, we then add that glucose with yeast. Now this yeast carries out anaerobic respiration, and it ferments to produce carbon dioxide and ethanol. Now, this ethanol can then be separated by the process of distillation, and it's used as a fuel instead of petrol, or it can be used in combination with petrol, So let me just, I've got an image here for you guys to actually focus on what's actually happening. Hopefully you can see it, So we get our plant material. Now this plant material needs to first be physically and chemically broken down. So the first thing that happens is the plant material is physically broken down, And then remember we said the plant material is then combined, the starch from the plant material is then combined with a carbohydrates, The carbohydrates is the enzyme. The carbohydrates converts the starch into glucose, That glucose is then combined with yeast, and then the yeast anaerobically ferments, And that fermentation produces carbon dioxide and ethanol. And it's this ethanol that can be used as a biofuel, as we said, instead of petrol or in combination with petrol, So, a lot of people say that using biofuel, and in this example, bioethanol, is carbon neutral. By carbon neutral, we mean there's no net gain in carbon in the atmosphere. And let's look at why they say that. Now, plants, as you know, carry out photosynthesis. And when they photosynthesize, they take the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Now, what happens is biofuels, and for example, cars that use biofuels, they return carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. However, the carbon dioxide that they return back to the atmosphere was only the carbon that the plants had pulled out. So there's said to be no net gain, So an ideal biofuel will have no net gain in carbon emissions, That would be the perfect scenario. However, biofuels and bioethanol is not fully carbon neutral, and I'll tell you why, Now, in order to grow these crops, we use fertilizer. So to transport these crops, we use vehicles, and these vehicles are burning CO2, So that's one way. Also, the crop needs to be processed, and to process these crops also releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, So it's a massive issue. Now there is a few advantages and disadvantages, and we're going to focus on them in the next couple of slides, Now, imagine we've now suddenly said we're going to create massive amounts of sugarcane so that we can use them as a biofuel, and therefore we can use them to create that ethanol. That, again, don't forget, is used instead of or in combination with petrol. Now, this creates a massive demand on land space, And farmers may think, I can make a lot of money selling sugarcane for a biofuel, and therefore prices of the sugarcane and prices of crops and food go up. That means that people who need to use the food to eat have to pay higher prices. And it was actually said in 2007 there was a world food price crisis, and it said the use of biofuels was one issue, don't forget, of course, the land is taken up. So it's, yes, we're using it for biofuels, but then that land could have been used to grow food. Don't forget, in our previous video, we looked at an increasing population. We need to feed our increasing population, okay? So 2 billion people every 10 to 15 years, the population is growing by. We need more and more farms. We don't need to be making less farms, all right? So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of using a biofuel, okay? So it's said to be much cleaner, and the emissions it gives out is much cleaner, okay? It reduces the amount of greenhouse gases that are put into the atmosphere, okay? We can use any plant for to make bioethanol. All the plant needs to contain is sugar and starch, and we can make it, okay? And it's said to be carbon neutral, but in your exam, do not put carbon neutral, because as we said, there are obviously transporting the fertilizer and processing the crops releases excess carbon into the atmosphere, okay? There are some further advantages, and I would advise you during these advantages and disadvantages, do pause the video, okay? Make notes on them, okay? And then unpause it, okay? And then we also have disadvantages. Now, disadvantages could include biodiversity, foods versus fuel, as we spoke about. Are we going to use the land for food, or are we going to use the land for fuel? Okay, and there are some controversial carbon emission debates. Okay, now it's not as efficient as petroleum. So, for example, it's not as efficient in cars to use. Okay, and also it cannot be used in engines which are made for petrol or diesel. So if your car has been made to use petrol or diesel, you can't then go and use bioethanol. You need to have a modified engine, okay, to use this bioethanol, which prevents a few dilemmas, all right? So guys, hopefully by the end of this video, you're able to describe the effects of global warming. You're then able to describe how bioethanol can be produced. And then after that, hopefully you're able to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of using bioethanol. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and revise. Mr. Ashodi signing out.